Hi everyone and welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Warbotron WB01-A Air Burst. So Air Burst is Warbotron's take on Blastoff from the Combaticons, which form Bruticus. So on the box here we can see some nice artwork of the figure itself and then the combiner itself. So this is actually just the outer sleeve of the packaging. So then over here we have the name and ranking and whatnot. We have Warbotron, and then on the back we have some artwork which, when you put all the boxes together, will actually form a nice picture. So I'll show that off in the combiner review. And then when you take that sleeve off, which is very nice in itself, you're left with this really nice open window box packaging, so that you can see the figure right there. You can see the same picture, but it's now in colour. And we have this awesome planetary space design behind it, and that is the same on all the other boxes, but they have different colours. So we can see at the top right it says ages 15 and over, and the reason that it's like that on most third-party items is just because of the price. It's just, you don't want to be giving it to someone who's going to play with it a lot and break it. It's going to be quite expensive to replace. At the bottom left we then see WB01-A set there again, Air Burst and Warbotron, and then moving it around you can see on the back we have a very nice white image there, kind of like a blueprint kind of look. And then at the bottom here we have some contacts for Warbotron themselves if you want to check them out. They've got some, a lot more combiners coming up soon. And then here we have specifications and colours of contents may vary from photo. Seeing as it's on the back, and that is the photo that's on the back, yes, I'm pretty sure it will vary quite a lot from what that looks like, to be honest. And then on the side here we have a nice little picture there, the actual proper, number, the item number for the Transformer right there, the rank, and then the action team, and there you have it. So let's get this thing open. I cannot wait. Blastoff is one of my favourite Transformers, so is Brawl, so I really cannot wait to get this thing out of the packaging. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. So first out of the box we have this collector card, which comes with most third-party Transformers. We have the bio and name and specs and whatnot on the back, and on the front we have this picture. So this picture was on the box and on the outside sleeve of the box, and it's also on the front of the instruction sheet, which is also part one of a comic in here, which is pretty cool. It's short, but obviously, it carries on throughout all of the members of this team. On the back, we also have exactly the same picture, but just in black and white. So, kind of a bit overused, but it is a very nice picture indeed. And then in the back of this is where you will find the instructions, which are very clear, precise, and yeah, I haven't really had any problems with these instructions whatsoever. And here is Air Burst, or Blastoff, whatever you want to call it, out of the packaging. There are a couple of quality control issues that stop it being absolutely perfect, but it's pretty damn close. So taking a closer look here, you can see that there's tons of moulded in detail, which I really do love from third-party companies. As you can see, we've got a few different shades of purple and greys and silvers and whatnot. And then we've got this main brown base colour for the plastic here, which is looking very nice. Now, some of the quality control issues that this guy has is every now and then you might just get a little bit of sloppy paintwork, like over here. If I get some focus right there, you can see that there's just some purple right there, and I'll show you a little bit more as we go through. Another thing is sprue marks. As you can see, you'll see just little white bits, and they're pretty much all over this guy. There you can see another little bit of the paintwork. It's not really a massive problem. That's why I said it's very close to being perfect. But it's just one of those things that it just doesn't look completely finished when you get something like that. Now, this is actually the first thing that Warbotron have created. So, the other guys, I haven't got those out of the packaging yet, they might have actually improved as they went along. So for the most part, apart from just a little kind of, sloppy on the paint in places, and just, every now and then just having white sprue marks, you can see some there, see some there, see some there. And if you have anything actually sticking out, you can cut it off, and then if you just use some heat from an air gun, you can easily, it's just slightly melting that top layer of plastic, just takes the white away. So it can be fixed if that is something that you want to do. Now, something that a long time ago. I remember from when this came out midway through last year. On Pior's video, he actually showed that this wing was loose on his. Well, it's loose on mine as well, and it's the same side. So it might be like that on most people's. The other one is nice and tough. So as you can see, it holds in place, and then you just give it a little tap and it'll droop down. No problem once transformed because it tabs in and everything, and it's fine when it's angled up. It's just when it angles down. But no problem, because as you can see, it can hold in place perfectly fine. In this mode, we do have landing gear. These ones roll, these ones are just molded in. But overall, I really do love the look of this guy. Now, as for a size, here we have Fireflight, and this is a deluxe figure. So there it is next to a deluxe plane. As you can see, it is bigger than a deluxe. And then if I take out here Lugnut, the Reveal the Shield Lugnut. Now this is, you know, it's bigger in terms of wingspan, but it is pretty light. And, you know, as you can see, in mass, this thing is, I mean, it definitely feels like either 2 or even 3 of these guys. And just in mass, if you just take into account that those wings, although they're big, they're quite thin. You know, this guy has basically the mass of a Voyager, but it does weigh a very good amount, and that's what's really fantastic about this guy. It doesn't feel like you know, cheap thin plastic. It feels very filled in. It doesn't feel hollow, and yeah, got good weight to it, and that's really good. Thumbs up from me. You're not just paying for a really, you know, hollowed out shell. They really do give you some plastic with this guy. Now in this mode, you can attach his weapons, which are these guns, and basically in robot mode they can slide out and they can extend, as you can see. But basically with those pegs you can plug them into the side, or you can plug them in underneath the wings, and you can transform them with the guns on if you wish. But those are the weapons. Now when it came packaged in robot mode, these things were rattling around inside the chest, so I just you know, shook them out. I don't think that they actually do anything. I don't think that they're supposed to be there, but if they are, there's 2 of them and they're unattached and they were loose inside the chest. So, you know, I've literally had no problems with it. There's no need for them. That's why I say I don't really think they're supposed to be in there, but they are. And if they can be used for something, then I don't know what it is, because they're not in the instructions anywhere. But yeah, they were basically loose inside the chest cavity in there. So, speaking about robot mode and whatnot, let's go ahead and transform this guy. So the first thing that we're going to do is put away this landing gear. Now, the landing gear is incredibly tight, way too tight, so much so that now I've put it away, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that out without using a tool as leverage to actually pull it out. But it's better to be tight than loose. It's going to last a lot longer if it is tight. So, getting this thing transformed, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to pull this whole top back section apart like so, and you can just split that. This wing will go down, and then you use this slider to push these missiles up like so, and they will attach to the arms in robot mode. So now next what we're going to do is just fold up these wings. So these end pieces right here just fold straight down, and then on this hinge right here, which can be tough, so when you do this you might actually just pull the wings out because they do just detach straight out. So if you don't want these wings on at all, you can just pull them off. But basically this wraps around and then it just plugs into that hole like so. So as you can see, they can just come straight out. So if you want, I don't know, maybe a sleeker robot mode or something and you don't want the wings on there, that is no problem. So there you go. Once you have that done, what we're going to do is we're going to come to these side bits right here and lift these panels up, and then these parts just go in like so. Now as you can see on mine, one goes further in than the other. That's how much it should move, but that's how much that one can go. But don't try and push it any further than that, because that's as far as they go. So these arms now, they peg into the side of the leg down the bottom, and then they're also pegged in there. So then you're going to pull that up. What happens now is they come out at this shoulder piece like that. You rotate the arm like so, put this part down, and then just push on this grey piece at the back, which allows you to bring the hand out. Again, a little tight there, and then rotate it all the way around. And we're just going to do that on the other side as well. Get that pushed in so that the hand can swivel out. Yeah, there we go. Very tight right there. So that's those done. And now we want to extend the legs, but I like to do them separately. So just pulling them out like so, and then they click. So basically, if you see that grey piece at the knee and you've heard the click, then it's in place. So you pull it down and then give it a click, and then you'll see that grey piece. With the feet down here, these boosters you just push back. You can push them all the way like so, but if you just leave them down a little bit, they can actually act as heels. So these feet come down, the front part you rotate around, and then that is done. Again, this one on this side is very tight. There we go. And that's the legs done. And then up here at the very top, just going to push this forward a little bit. We're going to push the nose cone back, if I can get it detached from the front like so. This just folds back. Basically, you can do whatever you want with this piece. I just like to leave it on the back like so. That's pretty much as flush as you're going to get it. Then you just detach these front parts right here. They are, oh, well, you don't want to pop them off, but there you go. We're going to put that straight back on there. So you rotate it around, and then you simply just slide it down like so to become the shoulder pads. And then you have a fully transformed Air Burst. And once transformed, like I said, you can go ahead and use these missile pods. So the piece that was on the left goes on the right, and the piece that was on the right goes on the left. And they simply peg into these holes right here. So you don't actually need to put them on, like I said. It looks very good as it is. But he is one of the Combaticons. So what would they be without an arsenal of weaponry? And like I said, if you want to leave the guns on during transformation, as you can see, those holes are still there on the sides. So, like I said, if you want a Sleeko on, you could just not use these, and you could just take those wings off the legs there, because they're not actually covering up any hollow parts or anything, so they don't really need to be there. And then, obviously, in this form, you can either use the gun extended or unextended. That is how they compare, and they get held in the hands extremely well. The hands, they do actually open up, they are actually articulated, but the hole there, you know, it stays the same. So, you know, just because this hand opens and closes doesn't mean that it's going to be hard to hold the weapons. You know, you can hold them even if the hand's open like that. But as for the actual detail of this guy, it's just absolutely mind-blowing. I really do love that G1-esque head, and that light piping. You know, I've not even got light shining behind this guy. That's just, you know, bouncing off the white paper that I have as the background. As you can see, if I put my finger over it, completely dark. So that's not even with direct light behind it, and that is really, really awesome. Basically, as you can see, it's just the whole back of the head there, the center part, is the light piping, and it works fantastically. As for the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you can get very good range of motion from it. It moves side to side, up and down, and left and right very well. As you saw, the shoulder pads are on a swivel and a ball joint right there, so they can move all the way up, out of the way, for the arms to get the full range of motion. So they can go all the way out to the side, and then at the shoulder they go all the way around. We have a swivel at the upper part of the arm right there, also a double jointed elbow. And then, as you saw, the hands go in and out, and they also swivel side to side, and the hands can also open and close. We have a waist swivel right here, and then this crotch plate can actually move up out of the way, enabling the legs to go all the way up, and they are ratcheted. They can go all the way back, and also all the way out to the side. They have a thigh swivel right there. They have a single jointed knee, which works very well and reveals some very nice detail inside there. And then at these feet, they're on ball joints down here, so they can go up and down. They can move left and right. The front toe piece swivels like so, and we also have actual ankle pivot because of the ball joint. And then you have added stability from these boosters back here acting as heels. And as a size comparison, here we have the Deluxe Fireflight. As you can see, he stands much taller than that figure. And then here we have that Lugnut. So as you can see, it does actually stand a little bit shorter. I mean, although at head height it's bigger, it does stand a little bit shorter than Lugnut right here. So it's got good size, you know, to be a nice Voyager size. It's got really awesome weight. The detail and articulation are all just absolutely fantastic. There is actually even more to it, and obviously, you know, this is part of a combiner, so you're going to get even more money's worth out of this guy. So to get him into Limp Mode, he is traditionally the arm. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just take these pieces off. Now, these are the only pieces that I don't really know what he's supposed to do with as of yet. It might tell you in the instructions in Onslaught or something to use it for something as part of the combiner. But for right now, I am not too sure because they don't actually show you in the instructions for the Limp Mode with this bot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate the hands and put those back inside like so, getting those tucked away. We're going to go ahead and transform the top as if we're going back into the shuttle form. So just getting those connected together like so. Reaching back for this cockpit and the nose cone and just snapping that into place up there like so. Then coming to the arms, what we're going to do is we're going to just simply move it back like so, and then just bring the arms down on that hinge, and that's literally all you do with the arms. And then doing the same to the other side, that is what you're going to be left with, something a little like that. They are just kind of out there. It's going to look fine when it is all combined up, but if you do want it to be a bit more, you know, flush or whatever, if you want the arms up or if you want to put the arms a bit more inside, a bit closer to what it looks like in vehicle mode, you can obviously go ahead and do that. If you really wanted to, if this doesn't actually play a part in the combiner, you could always just plug these onto the arm and then you have really nice wings there with missiles sticking out the side and everything. That would be pretty cool. So what we do is we rotate this to the front. We're just going to transform the toe pieces here back to how they are in vehicle mode. Like I said, this one right here is pretty tight on mine, so I've got to be careful with it. There we go, I got it round eventually, so we're just going to move those back up here like so. Get that one moved around as well. There we are. That's going to go up. Now, the hand would actually connect in here, but the hand actually comes with the Onslaught figure. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and peg this guy together. And then in this chest piece right here, we lift this clear plastic piece up, which covers the head and then flips down. And then what you do is you can just take something to pry that out with, and then you're going to be left with something like so. You can actually just use your nail to pull it out, but it's very tight on mine, so it's really hard to get the first initial few steps out. In this cavity is where those little tiny clip things were found, you know, floating around. I picked it up and it was rattling, so I just shook them out. And that got those out there. But yeah, so that is the combine mode for the arm. Obviously here you're only going to have the 1 point of articulation moving forward, so what you could do is rotate it the other way around, and then you're actually going to utilize the knee pivot there as well. But then you will have these boosters sticking out the front there, so you know, whatever you like the look of, or whatever, you know, articulation you want, you can do it however you want. That's pretty much the same with all combiners though. With most combiner arms, you do have, you know, lack of articulation one way versus the other. Now, some people complain that these joints right here are too close together, but it's not supposed to look like, you know, a normal humanoid anatomy. It's a robot. That really doesn't matter. And like I said, you can use that hinge right there as the elbow hinge if you turn around the other way, if you so wish. So that concludes the review for the Blastoff/Air Burst Warbotron WB01-A. And this thing is absolutely fantastic. So next up, it's going to be Brawl. And I really cannot wait. He is my favourite of the Combaticons. And we'll see if the same quality control issues kind of run with all of them, or if they do actually progressively get better as they were released. They look great. As you saw the transformation, you know, it wasn't very hard at all. It seemed like a kind of official transformation. It's even easier than some other official transformers, you know. So for the price, you're not getting like an absurdly hard transformation with super tight tolerances that you're going to be scared to transform. It's something that I wouldn't recommend that you play with. And, you know, as it said on the box, 15 plus, I think that's a fair number right there. But I definitely think that you can transform this with no problem time and time again. It's not going to be something that you're going to be annoyed to transform. It's actually very enjoyable. The plastic feels great. Like I said, it's got some heft to it. It's good quality. It's thick. It doesn't feel like it's going to break anytime soon. And I definitely recommend that you pick this guy up, whether you want it on its own or with the rest of the Combaticon team. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to go ahead and see pictures of this team as I review them and pose them about, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Homerino123 for both, and links are in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and if you want to see the rest of the team and more Transformers reviews, then go ahead and subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time for Brawl.